All right, let's dive into a business strategy that is, honestly, a total game changer, but so many people overlook it: price segmentation. It's all about a fundamental shift in how you think about value, and trust me, it could be the key to unlocking your business's real potential. Let's get right into it. So, let's start with a pretty bold statement. This idea that one price fits all, it's not just a simple business practice. It's been called a dangerous myth. We've kind of taken it for granted that a single price tag works for every single customer. But what if that very idea is what's holding you back?
And that leads us to a really important question, right? We think uniform pricing is about being fair. But is that really the case? Or is it just, well, the easy way out? A lazy strategy that completely ignores the fact that your customers are all incredibly different.
So, here's the game plan for today. We're going to tear down that one price myth. Then we'll get clear on what price segmentation actually is. We'll look at the huge advantages it offers, show you how to go from theory to action, and finally, we'll take a quick peek at what's next in the world of pricing. Okay, first up, let's tackle this one price myth head on. A single price seems fair on the surface, but when you really dig in, you realize that what looks fair isn't always smart. In fact, it's usually a short-sighted approach that just doesn't vibe with how the market actually works. And this is where you can really see the two mindsets side by side. On one hand, you've got the myth, this idea that every single customer is the same. And on the other, you've got the solution, recognizing that, say, a tiny startup and a giant corporation see completely different value in the exact same product. It's about acknowledging reality. So let's get into what this is all about. And this part is absolutely crucial. Price segmentation is not about tricking people. It's about recognition, not manipulation. It's an ethical strategy that's based on a simple truth. Value isn't some fixed universal number. So what is it exactly? Well, price segmentation is just the strategy of setting different prices for the same product. And you base those prices on who is buying, where they are, or simply what they think it's worth. It's about being smart and responsive. The first type is probably the one you're most familiar with: customer segment pricing. This is all about the person making the purchase. I mean, think about student discounts or special prices for seniors. Or if you're in B2B, it's like offering different plans for a small business versus a huge enterprise client. You're pricing based on their specific situation. Next up, we have geographic segmentation. This is a huge reminder that where you are in the world changes everything. A winter coat is worth a whole lot more in chilly Toronto than it is in sunny Miami, right? The local economy, the culture, it all shapes what people are willing to pay. And this is just a perfect example of this in action. We don't see this as some kind of trick, do we? We see it as smart business. It's a real-world model built entirely around the simple fact that a product's value can be completely different from one market to the next. Okay, so now we know what it is. But the real question is, why should you actually do it? Well, this is all about the strategic advantages. It's about learning to play chess with your pricing, not checkers. The first, and honestly the biggest advantage, is revenue optimization. When you match your price to what different groups are willing and able to pay, you capture the most possible value from everyone. You stop leaving money on the table with your high-end clients, and you don't scare off your more budget-conscious ones. It's truly a win-win. And here's where that chess analogy really comes to life. Think of price segmentation as the queen on your chessboard. It's powerful, it's flexible, and it gives you a massive leg up on the competition. Why? Because when you show your customers you actually get them, you'll build loyalty that your one-size-fits-all competitors just can't touch. All right, enough theory. Let's shift gears from the what and the why to the how. This next part is your practical, no-nonsense blueprint for bringing price segmentation into your own business. Here are 4 steps you can take. First, you have to get to know your different customer groups. Really know them. Who are they? What do they value? Second, keep an eye on your competitors. See what they're doing. Third, build and roll out clear pricing tiers. And last but not least, automate this stuff wherever you can to make it run smoothly. Now, here's the thing. None of this, and I mean none of it, works without a solid foundation of data. Trying to do this without data is like, and I quote, venturing into the wilderness without a map. You need analytics, you need research, you need to understand your customers' habits to make this work. So let's wrap this up by looking ahead, because this whole idea of price segmentation isn't just a static thing. It's always evolving, especially with new technology, and it's really starting to push past the old boundaries. And the future is kind of already here. We're talking about AI-powered dynamic pricing. Think about smart algorithms that don't just react to the market, they actually predict what customers will do. They can personalize a price in real time based on a ton of data. This is rewriting the rulebook as we speak. So, what are the big takeaways here? First, price segmentation lets you maximize your revenue. Simple as that. Second, it gives you a serious long-term competitive edge. And third, by showing customers you get them, you build way stronger, more loyal relationships. So I want to leave you with this final thought. In a world where we have endless data and incredible tools, is sticking to a single price not just a huge missed opportunity, but maybe a failure of imagination? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.
Ready to take your e-commerce business to the next level? With OneCart, you get effortless inventory syncing, streamlined listing management, and seamless multi-platform integration. Don't just take our word for it, hear from our happy customers. Experience the OneCart difference and start your free trial today. Simplify your workflow, grow your business. OneCart, your all-in-one e-commerce solution.